Well, good morning, and God bless you, men. I just wanted to give this short little talk this morning as something has been struggling in my heart. It's early Sunday morning. I don't know, I think it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just sitting out here trying to enjoy the wonderful world that the Lord has given us. And got into a conversation over the past couple of days with other men who were getting involved in men's groups. They may be called triads, they may be called accountability groups. What they call it is not necessarily important, but it's the reason why men are getting together. They were just getting together to talk, which I find to be quite troublesome, because if you're getting together in the spirit of biblical or spiritual formation, you need a purpose. You need a reason to talk. You need a reason to lead you to the next step. Recently, several months ago, I was part of a men's group. I was invited to the group, and I really didn't want to be part of the group, but I was asked to come, and I had asked, what is the reason for the group? It was my first question that I asked. And I was told spiritual formation, and I go, okay, but what else? What was the purpose? I understand it's spiritual formation. That's why you want to go, and you want to hold each other accountable. And he couldn't come up with a reason. And I said, okay, well, let me go for a couple of meetings, and we'll see what happens. And we got together, and there was no purpose. There was no reason. There was no introduction. There was an opening prayer, and that was it. Most of the reason of the group was to just talk about whatever issue was on someone's heart. And all of those three meetings that we had were pretty much focused on what one individual wanted to talk about. So there are other reasons why I left the group. I didn't give them the commitment level. I just told them I was going to test it out. But I wanted to just give you some groundwork on what I believe might be a good basic framework for a men's group of 2 or 3 men to get together. An accountability group, you can call it a triad, a discipleship triad, whatever you want to call it. What it's called is not important, but it's really about the purpose of why you're getting together. And let me just give you this framework that I think works. I've done discipleship groups and accountability groups in the past, from 3 people all the way up to the most is 12, which takes usually 3 to 4 hours to do. That's a big group, but it's very, very intentional. So let's just say that you're getting together and you want to get together for spiritual formation, and you have a purpose, whatever that be. And the purpose could be to be good fathers, to be good husbands, to be good leaders of your church, to grow deeper spiritually. You can even have biblical study, Bible study as part of that. But I would say that an accountability group would be best for not a Bible study. Have that as a separate group, and then you can have more people, because you can have more input from people if you're doing just a Bible study. So you get 2 or 3 people, and you have a purpose, whatever that is. Let's just say you get together for, I would suggest, a minimum of 90 minutes. You get together for 90 minutes. You're opening up with a prayer. First, let me say, someone should always be in charge of just leading the day. I wouldn't necessarily say that you need someone to lead the whole group all the time, but just have somebody in charge of the pace and leading from one person to the other, because sometimes we can get very verbose and talk a lot, and we need someone to just push us along. So you're opening up the prayer, and that could be whoever is the leader of the day, let's say. Or anybody else, it doesn't matter. But you're praying a short prayer just to cover the group, because we'll get into some more prayer later. Now what you want to do is we're going to go from one person to the next and talk about some of the to-do lists or the goals or the issues that we had from the last meeting. So what we're doing is we're bringing the last meeting's context into today. It helps us to get our mind set in the right framework, on the right frame set. This way we know what we're talking about. We're all on the same page. So you go through each person says, well, last week I said I was going to do step 1 or step 2, and it didn't happen because of A, B, and C. And this is where the accountability comes in. So we want to know why it didn't happen. What did you do, and how is that going to move you forward, and what can we do to help you? You might have some personal issues or challenges or problems or a sickness or work-related issues, whatever it is the whole life thing. What happened in the past week, and how can we help you? How can we pray for you? How can we support you? How can we help you be accountable? Each person has 1 to 3 minutes of a talk. You're just going to be very brief, and we're going to get through this quickly. Then we do a prayer. Each one, and I would suggest one person would pray for the one to their right. So you'll have 3 people praying, or just 2 or 3 people praying, and you pray for the issues that came up for that person. Okay, we took care of the past. Now we're going to move into the present. So now what you want to do is you want to talk about whatever the topic is for the group to get together. So let's say that you're doing discipleship for being a good husband and a father, like a man of the shepherd. So you're going to have the topic from last week and bring it into this week. And does it need to be continued? Do you need to still continue on that topic, that learning, that understanding? Or do you need to go to the next topic? And then you would just discuss it. I would suggest you get some kind of program that you can follow that's easy to follow, so you don't have to keep on coming up with ideas. So if you want to do a discipleship program, find a 12-step discipleship program and just keep on going through the steps. You don't have to necessarily start and finish with a step, but you need to just keep moving forward. Same thing with being a good husband, a good father. Find a book that's going to allow you to go through some kind of devotionals, maybe a weekly devotional, and you can use those as steps. It's just conversation starters to help us get from one point to the other, and we want to hold each other accountable. And then when you're finishing up the meeting, that's the bulk of your meeting. And then when you're finishing up the meeting, you want to just do what you did in the beginning in reverse. So you're going to talk about your to-do list, your goals, your ideas, your concepts that you want to bring in and get accomplished in the next week, and then pray for each other on the way out. And that would be it. It's very basic, very simple setup and format. But I think the most important thing is to have a purpose and start with that. You don't have to have that. Now, if you're a new group and you got 3 men that are just getting together the first time, let your first discussion be about what your purpose is going to be, what you agree upon moving forward, and then have a format. And everybody needs to agree on rules and regulations, always in the beginning. And if you're bringing someone new in, you must go over those rules and regulations every time. You must introduce the person. We must understand who the people are and go over the rules. What are some of the rules? These aren't all of them, so do some research on the internet. Maybe I'll find a bunch and put some links on, but it's easy enough to find. And the basic rules is this: respect, kindness, understanding, compassion, giving a person time to talk, but keeping the conversations, keeping the talking down to a minimum, because we have time needs that we need to satisfy. And then, this is kind of a really, 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 really important one. Anger. Guys, you're angry people. Some of you are really angry out there. And it's hidden out there. It doesn't display itself until you get to certain topics. I've had to deal with an angry person recently. This person is always angry, and I myself, I'm in a very unsafe place when I'm in this individual's presence. So make sure that that's in check. Anger should not be an option. The behavior should not be an option. If you're angry, you bring it to the men's group and have them hold you accountable. Face it, know it, and call on other men to sharpen you. But don't be angry, because angry is very much a prideful issue, and it's an issue that you're dealing with. It's not someone else's issue. Okay? So create a safe environment. That's what I was getting to. Create a safe environment where each man can be transparent and can be vulnerable, can move through these meetings with a sense of integrity that we have all together. And then that brings the group's integrity up to a higher level. So that's all I wanted to talk with you about. It's something that's been actually, it's been my church business, church world, and it's also been in the my work world, where we don't call it necessarily a triad or a group, but teamwork. This is kind of a teamwork thing, and we need to be sure that we're working as team members, holding each other up, helping each other move from one place to the other. Okay, that was my rant. I don't usually do this, but I wish you the best. God bless you. God be with you. I hope that you do find some other men that you can get together with, and you can just have a fruitful and wonderful meeting together. This helped you out. Please let me know if you have any tips. If you're already in a men's group and you're doing something similar or different, let me know. There's not one rule. The Bible does not have one set of rules and regulations on how to do men's groups. It's just, it's not there, but men do get together. The book of Acts is full of it. God bless you again. Take care. Shalom.